y'all, welcome back to Ukulele Wine Time. My name is Catherine. Today we're going to take a look at some essential music theory that's going to help you be a more confident musician. Let's do it. Ukulele Wine Time. The things I'm going to show you in this video are going to help you start to understand how chords fit together, where we get them from, where these letter names are coming from. It's going to help you be able to create your own chord progressions if that's something you want to do, or maybe you want to change the key of a song you're working on. Maybe it doesn't quite fit your voice just right. This is going to start to unlock how to do that, make that more clear, and on a whole, it's just going to make everything less confusing. So don't let the word music theory intimidate you. I'm going to take it step by step, and we got this. By the way, hi, my name is Catherine. I have my master's degree in music. I've been teaching both kids and adults for over 12 years, and I love teaching ukulele to reduce anxiety, bring some positivity to the world. So whatever reason you're here, however you find this video, I'm happy you're here. By the end of this video, you're going to be familiar with the musical alphabet, the major scale, and a couple different ways that we can approach it. You'll know the difference between a note and a chord, or melody versus harmony. We're going to take a look at where we get these chords from, so diatonic harmony, getting our chords from the major scale. And then from all of this, we'll put that all together to kind of unlock this secret code that's going to let you do all of these cool different things with chords, like making your own chord progression, changing keys, etc. By the way, this is not just for the ukulele, it's for piano, for a guitar, for a bass, for any instrument that you're playing. This music theory all applies. So let's start with the musical alphabet. So I'm going to write it here on our board. So we've got, it starts with A, and goes to G, and that's it. Much shorter than our standard alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then it starts over again, A, B, C, to infinity. So here is our musical alphabet. Now these are just the letter names. There are things called accidentals. There is a sharp, that's a sharp, not a hashtag, and this is a flat. Okay, so from this musical alphabet, this is step one. So just understanding these are the letter names. This is what we can build a major scale from. So let's actually start with our C major scale. So before I erase this, so for my C major scale, I'm going to go C to C. All right, so I'm going to erase the rest here. So we just have our C major scale. There we go. I'll erase my dots here. So now we've got a C major scale. And the way that a major scale is structured is by a series of whole steps and half steps. Some places call them tones and semitones. We're going to call them whole steps and half steps. We're not going to get too much into this, but I just want you to know that this is what makes a major scale a major scale. And it's the same for any major scale. So the pattern of whole steps and half steps is whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. And the way I like to remember this with my students is we were happy when we were here. And when we apply this to our set of letters here, it makes our major scale. And just so between the first step, the first note and the second note, that's a whole step. Between this note and this step, this note, that's a whole step. Between this one and this one, that's a half step, and so on, and it does the whole pattern applied to your major scale. That's as far as we're going to go for that, but just so you understand, this structure, this formula applies to any major scale. So it could start from G and go to G, and we would go up a whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. Okay, let's pause there. Now, Next, we're going to take a look at how to approach the major scale in a couple of different ways. So I'm going to write my C major scale on here again. So it's C to C, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And the reason we like to look at things in the C major scale is because there are no accidentals or no sharps and flats. So it's a great home base to take a look at. Also, it's a great key on the ukulele, so it just works out well for us. Okay, so we are gonna now give this some numbers, and let's use a different color. I'm gonna use black. So step one, we're gonna give these numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we're back to C, which we're gonna call 1 again. Could also be 8, but we're gonna call it 1. Now there are a couple different ways we can take a look at this. So here we've got the letter names or the note names. Here we've got numbers. Another way, especially if you're working on singing, we could work on solfege. So let me grab a C, actually on the piano here. So that's our C. So first we've got C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Pardon me, it's early in the morning here. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Another way, if you watch The Sound of Music, we've got do, a deer, a female deer. Another way to look at a major scale, so we've got do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So this applies to any major scale. So I could take out our C major scale and I could put a G major scale there, or an A major scale, or B flat, or E flat, or G sharp. And these same rules would apply. So our whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half, our numbers, our solfege. I do want to point out that using solfege in this way, I'm using a system called movable do, where I move my do around as needed. There's another system that's fixed do, so I'm not teaching that. So if that sounds familiar to you, you can say, okay, great. And if it doesn't, you can say, okay, great, I'll skip that for now. By the way, if you're starting to feel overwhelmed, do not worry. I've made a PDF, so check that out below. It's all free. You can print that out and take notes and follow along, where I've made a grid where you can take a look at this, and this will all start to make more sense as we go along. But all we're doing is we're taking the major scale and giving it numbers. So in a nutshell, that's all we're doing. Now we're gonna add another level to this, and I think I'm gonna go over to the piano for this one. So now that we're here at the piano, let's take a look. Let's again check out these different ways to look at the scale. So far we've got our letter names, our note names. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. We've got our numbers here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. And we've got solfege. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Now before we start talking about chords, let's take a second to just identify. So a single note or a pitch is just one note played by itself. So for example, C is a note. F is a note or a single pitch. G. So all of these notes in the scale is one note being played by itself. And then when we start to add more notes into it, that becomes a chord. So that's our note, and usually the melody, what you sing or what you play, that is a melody made up of single pitches. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, and we are going to stack chords on top of it using all of the notes in the scale. So, and to do that, we're going to use 1, 3, and 5. And when we do this, we make a chord. So this is our C major scale. And we're using 1, 3, 5. So we can take each note in our scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and we are going to stack a chord on top of that note. And back to C. So we've said goodbye to our solfege. I'm going to write one more way of looking at our chords up here. And to do that, we need to talk about major versus minor. So we've got a major chord. It's kind of a happy, hopeful sound. So our 1, and each of these chords that we've stacked on our major scale is going to be major or minor with one small exception there. So let's listen to see which chords are major and which are minor. So our 1 chord is major. Our 2 chord, that sounds a little kind of pensive or mysterious. Our 2 chord is minor. Let's keep going. Our 3 chord is minor. So it would be an E minor chord. Our 4 chord is major. Our 5 chord, G, is major. Our 6 chord is minor. Our 7 chord is diminished, so really interesting sound for our diminished chord. And then we're back to 1, which is major. Now we're going to take a look how to notate this, and this is going to go straight into our secret code so you can make your own chord progressions and start to be able to learn how to change the key of your song. So we're going to use what's called Roman numerals, and we're going to use our numbers here, but we're going to denote now which ones are major and which are minor. So here's our 1 chord is major. Our 2 chord we learned is minor. Our 3 chord is minor. Our 4 chord is major. Our 5 chord is major. Our 6 chord is minor. Our 7 chord is diminished. That's what that little circle is. And then we're back to 1. So now we've got Roman numerals, and this is where we get our chord progressions from. Whew, okay, so we have added our Roman numerals. This is a lot. You're doing great. I think it's time for our wine break. So this is ukulele wine time. I'm actually drinking water because it's 9 a.m., but I want to say cheers to you for diving deeper into this music theory. Music theory can be so fun. It really is like a secret code, and it's going to level up your playing. It's really going to help you feel more confident when you're learning new songs and maybe when you're writing new songs. So cheers to that. I also got my coffee here. Also cheers. And if you're finding this helpful, please cheers the like button below, and I hope you subscribe for more ukulele wine time. Let me know if you have any questions about this lesson. I love talking about harmony and music theory. So if there's something that didn't quite click for you, let me know. I'd love to help you out. And let me know if you want to see more videos like this. Let's get into it, y'all. So now that we've gotten to our Roman numerals, we understand now when we say the 1 chord, right? Our 1 chord is major. So if I told you right now, could you play me a 1, 4, 5 chord progression? You can start to say, oh, yeah, that's making sense to me now. So I'm going to take the 1 chord, the key of C, it's C, the 4 chord, F, and the 5 chord, which is G. And you know those are all major chords. So now we'll go back to our ukulele. We're going to start to explore some different chord progressions and see what these sound like. So I think we should start with a 1, 6, 4, 5 chord progression. So let's see what that sounds like. I think I'll just play 4 beats or 4 counts for each chord. So let's check it out. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in the key of C. Those chords are C major, A minor, F, and G. And that might start to sound familiar to you. You're like, oh, I know that song. It's like every song. Well, not every song, but it's a very, very common chord progression. Let's mix them up. What if we do, we could start with 6. Maybe we do 5 next. 1, 4. Oh, that's nice. So 6 or A minor, 5 or G, C, and then F. So now are you starting to see you can mix and match these chord progressions? This is the first step to writing a song if that's something that you're interested in, or creating your own chord progression. So you can just take the handout if that's helpful, or you can write down, you take a screenshot of this, and now you can mix and match, choose some chords. I would say leave out the 7 chord for now. This one's got kind of an unusual sound, so we're gonna leave this one out for now. But it's very useful in jazz songs and like Brazilian music, and it definitely has a very important place in music. So you can pick any chords in your chord progression here. So just pick 2 to start. You could pick 2 minor and a 4 chord. You could pick 6 and 3. You could pick 3 and 4. So just start creating your own chord progressions. That's step 1. Okay, step 2, we're gonna take a look at this very same thing in another key. So we're gonna take a look at the G major scale next. So I'm gonna write out the scale. We're using our alphabet. So starting with G, and then we know that A is next. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. One caveat, so we're not going too much into all of our whole steps and half steps now, but because I know my major scale is built on whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half, we were happy when we were here. I know that in order for it to truly be a major scale, I need this to be an F sharp. Okay. F sharp. And that makes this a G major scale. Now we can do the same thing. We can, all of these things still apply. So the 1 chord is major, 2 is minor, 3 is minor, and so forth. You can make a chord progression. So if you want, you can also add, and I will add this on the worksheet, you could do a little minor next to these just to remember that those ones are minor. So 2, 3, and 6 are minor, 1, 4, and 5 are major. And actually, I got ahead of myself here. So we've moved to G. Let's take a look at She'll Be Coming Round the Mountain. So we'll do an example. So let's, in the key of C, we've got she'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. This is our 1 chord. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. It's our 5 chord. She'll be coming round the mountain. She'll be coming 4 chord round the mountain. She'll be 5 chord round the mountain when she comes. So this song and many others are built on just 1, 4, and 5. So in the key of C, we've got C, F, and G. And I've got this on your printout. So if you want to take a look at that, you'll see this in the key of C with the lyrics. Now we want to move this to the key of G. So let's check it out. We're in the key of G. We need a 1 chord, okay? Here's our secret code now. We've filled it in. Our 1 chord is G. We need a 4 chord, C. And we need a 5 chord, D. Let's try it out. So now let's check this out in the key of G. I have a feeling this might be a little low or high, depending on how you look at it for my voice. Okay, so we need a G is our 1 chord, D is our 5 chord, and C is our 4 chord. Here we go. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming round the mountain. She'll be coming round the mountain. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. And you can put this in any major key. You can move it to the key of D. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming round the mountain. She'll be coming round the mountain. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. So, knowing that it's a 1-4-5 chord progression, or actually 1-5-4 for being technical, I can now move this into whatever key fits best for my instrument and my voice. All right, guys, thank you so much for checking out this essential music theory with me. So by now, to recap, we talked about our musical alphabet. We talked about the major scale, a couple different ways to look at it. Then we looked at chords and how those are derived from the major scale and how we stack those chords, where we get those from. We talked about major and minor, note versus a chord, and we then dove into Roman numerals, which is where the real magic is at. And now we see that we can mix and match these Roman numerals, put it in a new key, create your own chord progression, and just so much. It just unlocks so much in the world of music and the world of chords, and I hope that you found this helpful. I have one quick assignment for you, a fun assignment before you leave. So this is something I do with my students, but what I would love for you to try, so get some scratch paper, write out your Roman numerals. Remember to skip 7. Write out your Roman numerals, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 on little pieces of paper. Stick them in a hat or a bowl. Pull a couple out and make your own chord progression that way. You can do it in the key of C or whatever key you choose. And let's see what fate has in store for your chord progression today. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for being here. I will see you in the next video. Cheers! Ukulele wine time.